So, I know it's been a minute between videos, but I'm still getting sorted. As you can tell, Rusty Rails is growing to be this beautiful little company now. It's still ran by just myself and only me, and that's what I intend for it to be. So much so that I really want to make this a fun place to be. So, what I've been doing, when I first came into this new studio, it was more, let's just get everything in and set up. Now I've got it all sorted, I'm going for like the refurbishment phase, where I'm making this all look nice and pretty to work in. I've done the spray painting room and where I do the videos under the big light, which, believe it or not, that's actually the toilet. And now in this video, I'm upgrading the main studio room from what you're about to see into what it is now. And I love where it is now, but I tell you, there were some points on this journey where I almost gave up. Sit back, relax. I'm gonna dip in and out of this because, again, it's so self-explanatory, you really don't need me guiding you through it. So just enjoy it, and I'll see you throughout the video. There is no sponsor for this video, however I do ask, could you make a donation to mine.org down below? I actually auctioned off one of my old layouts that I did in a weekend. The one from making a diorama in 48 hours and a Cura scale, and Richard Watson came down and took it. But most importantly is there was a massive donation to mine.org, and that's what means most to me. So if you guys could do that, I'll love y'all forever. So yeah, this is like the old room. I'm trying to like make it look good, but like these shelves were warping. This just looked cluttered and messy, and it just, I don't know, it worked, but it was messy. I don't like it being messy, it's not what I'm about. It's weird, Rusty Rails is called Rusty, but it's like the cleanest company you'll ever see. Well, I say company, it's just my little like side hustle. Okay, so here on my little iPad, which right now I'm looking at what you guys can see, I use that for concept sketching, and this is the concept for the room. I knew how I wanted it roughly laid out, and the products on the other side, and there's just more room. So anyway, let's take all these trains off. Half of these are actually gone now, which is quite sad. I'm switching from DB to GBRF. Yeah, at this point, I just wanted it all down. It was frustrating, like the clutter. It was so easy to clutter up the place. I hate it, and that's what I don't like. That's a fun little trick, actually. If you need to get rule plugs out, screw in and then pull the screw out. Yeah, and then I just went in with polyfiller and repatched them and then repainted them with just leftover paint. So, yeah. That cabinet, by the way, that you saw, I really wanted to keep that because that was expensive. Luckily, I took the glass out, and you'll see why in a minute. You'll notice this will be like light, dark, yeah. This was done over about 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, so I'm just using a stud finder here to find where the wood is, and I still missed it. Yeah, so I wanted everything to be slat wall shelving because I got fed up of screwing holes in the wall, and I'm gonna like knock this place down by accident. So I've said I'm gonna slat wall it so I have that flexibility to move things around and adapt to different things. These little white chunks, I ended up pulling them out just because they stood out too much, but I think I forgot to tape it, film it, I mean. I'm not sponsored by Ryobi. I think somebody bought me like a starter pack with like a drill, a screwdriver and a circular saw as a gift, and then obviously I just expanded from there. And they are great tools. Yeah, this is a fun little tip. If you need to mark where the holes are, a bit of tape, mark the holes and then stick the tape on the wall, and yeah. So again, it's all about that clean, that elegance, that tidiness. So 3D printing desk grommets and keeping those cables all nice and tidy. And little things like that, like little flourishes, it just helps me so much with my OCD and plus my ADD. If I see a paperclip, yeah, I'll be sat there playing with that, and then like hours will go by and people will be like, have you finished what you were meant to do? And it's like, what was I meant to do? I posted this on the thingy, on the Facebook page, and someone was like, it looks like a telephone exchange, and I'm like, I see where you're coming from. So yeah, I had to develop a whole new system as well, like with the single hole punch, because before they were all just chucked in boxes. And this, I can actually visually see how many I have left in stock, but also it just looks nicer, and it's ready for, if a shop buys stock off me, it's ready to go straight on a peg. That felt so good. That felt so good taking that last box off. It was crazy. When I finish a print, I empty them into them little trays. So in the background you might see a little tray here and there that's got all like the loose products in. So yeah, I hoovered up and ripped down the old shelves. This has all been, a lot of this was donated. The metal slat wall shelving, you see, I ended up just donating that to a local charity shop in the pretense that they'd sell it, but I went in a few weeks later to drop some more stuff off and they were actually using it for themselves, which was awesome. The lighting is very yellow here, I know this. There's nothing I can do about that. That's the colour of the room, it's just, yeah, and yeah, I can't be bothered changing the white balance. Okay, now we're back in this room and the light is back. So yeah, I use those little white studs. I use the ones that actually came off the wall, so I'm not like wasting them. And they were used for this. So before was that metal frame that you saw. That was so rickety. This is so much better. It is solid and I can literally stand on it and it won't move. This now is going to be my layout side of things, and where you can see that long desk grommet dropping down, that's what I use to... I was going to say that's what I used to do the resin. This hurt, man. This hurt. I almost gave up at this point. You can see there the back wall is done and I'm doing the layout wall. I just almost gave up. Luckily, 6 in the morning, I was like, right, let's 3D print these little slat wall shelves like this. I make it look really quick here. It took me like a little while to get the measurements right and the strength of it. Luckily, I had a few slat walls left over because those were damaged ones. I offered the company them back and they said no, just dispose of them, and if you can get some use them. You can see there I trimmed off the top so it looked nice, but luckily I had just enough to finish this, because otherwise I'd have a big chunk missing where that cabinet was. And this is it. So there's the layout wall, my trains wall, so this will obviously update throughout the times as I change liveries and stuff. And you can see there's a 3D printed diorama and just a few little layouts. And then directly opposite is the product wall. So I've got loads of space here as well to develop new products. And you can see I've got a whole, like literally only 75% of that wall is full. And what's nice as well is once it is full, I can expand to this side. So yeah, this is where I get my kicks. This is what helps with my mental health. I listen to Tomorrowland Radio, which is like a dance radio station, and it's got all this kind of music that you're hearing in the background. It's got all that stuff on it. I'll put that on and I'll just do DIY, and it is the greatest escape for me. Model rail is also a huge escape for me. Now, your version of model rail is a different one than mine, because mine is obviously very 3D orientated. But I don't do this for money. I don't do this going, let's make millions from model rail. No, it's nice to be able to pay the bills, but honestly, I do this because it is passion. It is a love. What do I do for money? That's a picture of me in front of 75,000 people in Melbourne, Australia. Those are some very expensive decks, and on the other side is some very loud speakers. I'm a producer, I'm a ghost producer, I sell records, I do a few other different things including video edit, graphic design, and even I help people develop websites. That's what I do. Rusty Rails is purely a personal venture of mine that, yes, because I am a graphics designer and I know how to edit and all this stuff, it looks very professional and very clean and very like business orientated. It's not. Everything is me. I sit here watching movies, packaging every single product up. I dispatch every single product myself every day. Don't get me wrong, some days I'm like, oh, I've got to go do the postage, but you know what? I wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't. If you get to play with trains and dance around on stages for a living, I'm not doing bad for 28. Okay guys, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in the next one.